Hi, I'm here with Benny the Jet Urquidez, famous kickboxing champion, teacher, longtime Los Angeles veteran of the film and screen. And so we're here to talk a little bit about his career. And I wanted to ask you, could you give us the chronology of your experience in the martial arts? When did you start? And kind of run us through that, the last 30, 40 years.
Obviously, I was, when kids had fire trucks at 3, I had boxing gloves. So my father was a professional boxer. My mother was a professional wrestler. There's 9 black belts in my family, 4 champions in my family. So for entertainment, we kind of beat each other up and, that kind of movement. But it's actually in the late, the late 50s, I actually was competing Pee Wee division boxing. In the early 60s, I was competing in judo. And in 63, I started Kempo Karate. And all the way through in the 60s, I had a chance to see great warriors in the 60s, and then the 70s came around, and early 70s, 73 is when actually I was going to box professionally, and I was boxing with Bobby Chacon and Randy Shields, and because I was actually going to go into boxing. And then full contact karate came in, which the word full contact karate, everybody was saying, what the heck is that? So in that, the World Series of Martial Arts came out, and we fought in Hawaii, and I took that. That was my first title.
Who did you fight for that title?
Actually, I fought the first day, which is 2-day tournament. The first day I fought 10 times. The second day I fought 4 times, and I ended up beating Dana Goodson for the championship of that. And he was 6'3", 245 pounds, and
he's passed away since, but he was a famous fighter.
But he was very famous and very strong, very powerful. And I was able to beat him, and he was, the Hawaiian hero guy.
He was. Did you say he was 200 pounds?
He was 200. Actually, he was 245 pounds.
And you were 100 and.
I was 160. No, not 160. I wish I was. I was 140.
And this was full contact.
Well, it was full contact, and that's when you were actually fighting with safety chops. Now, safety chops were about a half-inch foam or a quarter-inch foam, and we were going full blast with those. So, and then from that point, my brother, actually the PKA came out with Don Quine, and I took that title. And then from there, they asked me if I would fight Muay Thai kickboxing. They said, if you fight Muay Thai, and I swear, I thought that was his name. I said, I'll fight him, yeah. So I thought that was the name of a guy I was going to fight. But nobody heard of Muay Thai before. So I fought, they brought 2 champions from Thailand. And Ernest Hart fought one of them. He was a semi-event. And he came on a stretcher downstairs. And then I was getting ready to fight. And I ended up fighting. You believe it, I can't think of his name right offhand. But we fought all the way up until the 9th round. And a big riot started, because what happened is when that's the first time I've ever been kicked in the thigh like this. I've been kicked with the thigh. You know how the dolls you squeeze and the eyes pop out? I've never felt that kind of pain before in my life. And I've had Charlie horses before. So from that point, we fought actually they call it no contest because a riot started. And so they tried to stop the fight, so they call it no contest. I ended up fighting him again in Texas. I ended up beating him in Texas, but that was the first time I was ever introduced to Muay Thai fighting. From that point, I said to myself, they said I'm a world champion. I said, I can't be a world champion. I haven't traveled. I haven't been outside the United States to be called a world champion. Then is when I got an invitation to go to Japan. And that's when I fought Japan. Suzuki was the first time I went there. And I knocked him out in the last 18 years. I've been going back to Japan. So in Japan, I became one of their fighters, and they brought fighters from the outside for me to fight for Japan, for the Japanese. And so I had comic books and cartoons.
You were quite famous there. Yeah.
Well, we had a good time there. But then I started traveling around the world, and I became the American ambassador, opening up the doors for many other fighters to follow.
Well, we've been talking with Benny the Jet Urquidez, famous living legend kickboxer and teacher, who's now starting his own online training program. For more information, visit the website you see on the screen.